Welcome back to another episode of Sports-Fixx. I'm your host, Carson Becker, and I'm back talking about college basketball March Madness. This is a continuation of yesterday's video. If you saw that, you can go back and watch that video. I'll have it linked right down below. If you want to go back and watch that one first, it shows the first half of yesterday's bracket, and it shows my prediction on the games on the playing games yesterday. So if you want to go back and watch that video, I'll link it right down below and you can go and watch that. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the playing games today, the playing games last night, my reaction to them, and the rest of my bracket. I'll go over and fill out the rest of my bracket so you can see what I have before March Madness starts tomorrow at noon. I think the first game on is Ohio State TCU. Tough one for me. Don't want to seem picking my favorite team over with Ohio State, but it's a toss-up to me. TCU, I haven't really seen a lot of TCU, but a lot of people like Ohio State to win that one, and I'm kind of just following the trend there with that. Ohio State has a little bit better of scorers than TCU does, so we'll see how that game goes. First game, you never want to get the first game wrong, so that's how I feel. That's why I always hate that they started with 8-9 because it's always tough, but we'll see how it goes. So, getting into last night's games, the first two playing games were last night. UMBC versus Howard, two 16 seeds fighting to play Michigan. It was a great game. Howard's up 8, about a minute left. UMBC battles back, gets a chance to go and tie the game down 3, half-court shot, misses. Howard gets their first ever NCAA win in tournament history. So, great for them. They got to go on and play a very good Michigan team. And that would definitely be a tough one. But they looked pretty good last night. 2 great games last night, by the way. If you missed them, they were fantastic. It was a great way to start off March, in my opinion. I think we're going to have a fantastic tournament on our hands just seeing those 2 games. Hopefully, we have 2 great games tonight as well. But the other game, Texas versus NC State, low-scoring affair, not like the last time they played in Maui where there was 100. Both teams scored about 100 points. This one, much more low-scoring, but NC State battles back. They tie the game at one point. Texas then hits a shot with about a second left. Great shot. Both teams battling back and forth a ton. It was a great game, like I said. Texas moves on and will play the 6 seed Tennessee there. I do see, or the BYU, sorry. It was BYU. They play BYU. So that will be a tough matchup for Texas in the next game. We'll see who goes there. I think Texas looked pretty good last night, but didn't look fantastic. Not good enough to beat the BYU team with DeBisanya. So not loving that matchup for Texas. But I went 1-1 last night. If you watched last night or watched yesterday's video, I had UMBC winning. They lost. And then I had Texas. So 1-1 last night. Start off March. I'll be tracking all my picks with my bracket throughout on this channel. So we'll see how well I do. It's tough. It's not easy. So we'll see. And then tonight, we have 2 more playing games. We have Lehigh and Prairie View fighting 2 16 seeds, fighting to go and play Florida. And they will have a chance to go and make it to the round of 64. Lehigh with the slight advantage, 3.5 points. It's kind of a toss-up game here. I haven't really paid attention to either one of these teams, Prairie View or Lehigh. So it's kind of a toss-up. Going towards the favorite here with Lehigh. I think Lehigh wins this one, and then they probably go on to lose to Florida, most likely. So then we have SMU versus Miami of Ohio, undefeated regular season for them. Then a disaster in the conference championship where they lose in their first game. It's tough to go 31-0. I don't think they should even have a playing game, but that's my opinion. We'll see if they can play with the big dogs tonight, right? SMU, ACC, in the ACC. It will be a tough game. Miami of Ohio, I don't think played any quad 1 teams. I don't know if SMU would count as a quad 1 team, but maybe quad 2. But a very tough game for Miami of Ohio. I would love to see them make the run. I would love to see them win this game. March is made for Cinderellas. I just don't know if this Miami of Ohio team can keep up with SMU. They had a ton of close games with teams that were not nearly as good as this SMU team. They do put up a ton of points, but they give up a lot of points on the back end as well. So I'm going to take SMU. They're a heavy favorite in this one. I think SMU wins this one. Now we'll get to the West. Now we'll get to my bracket. Starting in the West, We got Arizona, Long Island. I'm going to take Arizona. That's a pretty easy one there. Villanova, Utah State. This one kind of a toss-up. A lot of people liking Utah State. I think they have a little bit better of the matchup there, so I'm going to take Utah State with the 9 seed getting the slight upset, I guess you can call it, even though 9 seeds probably win more. Then you get the 5 versus 12, Wisconsin. A lot of people liking this upset here. 12, the high point team. They got the Jack Goki of this year's tournament, the white boy that can shoot. Shoots the three very, very well. I think he gets it done. I think High Point wins this one. It's the big upset. Arkansas, Hawaii, Darius Acuff. It's going to be too much for this Hawaii team. They got to travel a long, long way. I think he's just too much. Hawaii loves to defend three, but they're going to give you 2 points. So Darius Acuff might go for 40. BYU, Texas. Like I said, Texas looked pretty good last night, but not good enough to beat this BYU team. I think Abisanya wins that one for him. BYU moves on. Gonzaga beats Kennesaw State. I don't think there's really much argument there. Gonzaga's just the bigger, better team. Miami over Missouri. I think Missouri wins this one. I don't think I've taken a 10 seed so far in this bracket, so I'm going to take a 10 seed Missouri team right here, and then obviously Purdue's going to beat Queens. A lot of people picking Purdue to lose pretty early. I agree. I think Purdue loses pretty early, just not in the 2 spot, not against the 15 seed. And I have Michigan over Howard, obviously, and I have Georgia over St. Louis. St. Louis had a great season, kind of like Miami, Ohio, where they were ranked at one point and all that. I think they're a great team. I just don't know if they can stop this big Georgia team. They love to dunk. That gets people excited to get the crowd hype there for Georgia. They're one of the best dunking teams in the country, and they have the most dunks in the country. So I think they go out and win that one. And then my next big upset, Akron beats Texas Tech. Texas Tech, they lost one of their strong guards. It's going to hurt them in this tournament. Akron's a great three-point shooting team, and honestly, not a great matchup for Texas Tech. So I think Akron can go and win that game. And then Alabama, I'm going to pick Alabama to win that one. I think they even with the loss of their guard, they still have enough guard to play to go and beat Hofstra. It'll be a tough matchup with Akron, but I think they probably move on from there as well. Tennessee, I think Tennessee beats no matter who they play, Miami, Ohio, or SMU. Great player, Nick Ahmet. He's a freshman. Great player. UVA moves on over Wright State in Kentucky, or Santa Clara, sorry. Santa Clara beats Kentucky there. It's really just a Kentucky team that hasn't looked great. They played in the SEC. They looked okay. Didn't really beat the teams they needed to beat. Got down to the 7th seed. Tough matchup with Santa Clara, who's a big, tall team. I think Santa Clara goes and wins that one. And then you got Iowa State winning over Tennessee State. Now I'll go back to the East, where I'll go through the second round. Duke beats Ohio State. Ohio State just can't keep up with this Duke team. And I think Kansas beats St. John's. A lot of people like St. John's to go deep. I do not. I don't trust this team. They've been on a tear lately. I don't trust them enough. Kansas beats St. John's in that one. Michigan State takes down South Florida. UConn beats UCLA. Florida beats Iowa. Florida just a better team. They're good. Vanderbilt is going to go on a little run here. You'll see it. They'll go on a run. Who knows? Maybe they beat Florida. Illinois over VCU. VCU gets the big win against North Carolina, but can't ride it very long. And then Houston beats St. Mary's. Then Illinois, Houston. I'm going to have Houston there, and I'm going to take Vandy in that one. Vandy beats Florida. And then Michigan State, UConn. I'm going to have UConn winning that one. And then Duke beats Kansas there. Duke goes and beats UConn, and Houston beats Vanderbilt to get to the Final Four. On the other side, Arizona beats Utah State. Arkansas takes down the big, mighty High Point. Darius Acuff, too much for that three-point shooting High Point team. They miss one too many in that one. Close game, but they win. Gonzaga beats BYU. Purdue beats Missouri there. Then you got Michigan beating Georgia. Alabama beating Akron. UVA beating Tennessee. I think UVA goes on a great run here in this tournament, but they do have to play a tough Iowa State team in the next round. But they do get it done. Iowa State just not quite good enough to beat that Virginia team as they make a great run. Michigan wins there. You got Gonzaga beating Purdue and Arizona beating Arkansas. Then you got Arkansas beating Gonzaga. And unfortunately, this is where Virginia goes down as Michigan goes and wins that one. Then you got Arizona, Duke, in the national championship, with Duke winning the national championship. And a tiebreaker, I'll put like 65 to 61 or something. Oh, I didn't know I had to do it that way. 65 to 60. So that's my bracket. If you want to go back and look, I'll post it on the YouTube as well with a screenshot so you can see all my picks all the way throughout. I think it's a pretty good bracket. Duke winning, taking a 1 seed this year, kind of have to, I feel like. I do like a Houston winner there. I do like an Arizona. Arizona, great team. Michigan, I just don't think they have enough firepower to go and win. I don't mind, honestly, a UVA beating Michigan either. I think that would be a great matchup there. Vanderbilt going and beating Florida. I don't think Florida can get it done enough. So I think Vanderbilt goes and beats them. And then UConn's another great team. It's really any 1 to 2 seeds. You could probably pick any of them to win for the most part. It's tough. It's a tough tournament to win, tough tournament to break, but I got Duke in this one. I'll finish my bracket there. Duke is my pick in this, but I got to be honest, this is not my only bracket. I have other brackets that I've made, so this bracket might not do as well, but for the most part, this is kind of what my bracket looks like. Most of my brackets look like, so we'll see how it goes there. Then we got, I'll go back to how the tournament goes on. That's how I think the tournament moves on at this point. And we'll see how it goes. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun tournament. So we'll see how it goes. That's all I have for this episode of Sports-Fixx. If you think my bracket's good, leave a comment down below. If you don't think it's good, think I have bad matchups there, tell me what you think. Tell me what your bracket looks like in the comments below. And yeah, that's all I have for this episode. I'm Carson Becker, and I will see you next time.